PCOS, hair loss, and regrowth part 2. Okay, so this is part 2 of the PCOS, well, hair loss and regrowth story. And if you see me look away, it's because I'm going to be looking at my notes to try to help me to not ramble. Okay, so quick recap. I had major hair loss in October of 2020. It led me to a couple of things. Number one, I was devastated. So my first step was I prayed and asked God for some help. That actually led me to start researching and looking for clues, things that could help me figure out what was going on. That led me to remember essentially that I was diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, years prior, and had been barely being treated for it. But the more research that I did, the more that I learned that PCOS, inflammation were more than likely directly connected to the hair loss issues that I was experiencing. And so at the end of the last video, I said, I made an appointment with my dermatologist, with a dermatologist, not mine, the first dermatologist that I went to. And I'm going to pick up that story right there. So October 2020 is the massive hair loss. December 2020 is my first appointment with the dermatologist. I went in there hopeful and looking for some type of direction. This physician looked at my hair for about 5 to 10 seconds. And essentially right off the gate, she said, it's CCCA. She didn't ask about my prior medical history. She actually was more concerned, what she said was what I should be concerned with or focusing on is getting laser hair removal because I had hair, like I said, I'm menopause. Look at the hair stuff going on in PCOS. So hair. And so she basically said, that's what you should be focusing on. Never mind the fact that my hair is essentially bald in the middle. And so she was dismissive. She was rude. She had terrible bedside manner. And she ended up prescribing me a steroid. So I took the prescription. I left. I was disappointed. The more I thought about the visit, the more mad I got, actually, because the first thought was, well, at least I have a diagnosis. At least I'm working with something. And so I went to my hairstylist, and we were doing the wash, and she was doing everything, all the treatment and washing and drying and everything. And she said, no, that is not acceptable, because I explained my whole experience with this physician, and she said, no, that is not acceptable. You need to get another second opinion, and we need to try again, essentially. And so I said, okay, I'll do that. I can do that. So I found another physician. By the way, these were both Black female physicians. And so I found another physician, and that appointment was in January of 2021. And so when I went to that visit, this physician, I kind of explained the information about my previous visit. And so I didn't throw the other doctor under my bus because I know it's a small community, so I'm not trying to, name bash people. But I was to explain that I wanted a full exam and I would like to get a full diagnosis. And so she was really good. She listened. She got my whole medical history. And then she said, well, we can do a biopsy, and that way we can really take a look at your scalp and see what's going on. And she explained the procedure in detail. I was scared because I'd never had that type of biopsy done, but I was like, let's do it. And she did it. I'm pretty sure she did it. It was that day she did the biopsy. And I can do a whole nother video about that if anyone is in that process. If you want to know what to expect, I can talk you through that as well. But she did the biopsy, and then she and I explained to her that I wanted to do the approach of healing my body from the inside out, using nutrition to heal my body. I'm not opposed to medication. She actually ended up prescribing a different type of steroid that was also topical, but much less strong. It wasn't as strong as the one that the previous doctor prescribed. She said that one was too strong. I shouldn't have been using that. Thankfully, I never used it really. So she gave me another prescription, and I said, okay, I'll do it. I will, or at least I was thinking about doing it. I still wanted to try to do a nutritious approach because I'm not against medicine. What I wanted to do is something that is sustainable. What can I do for the rest of my life? I know that can't take a steroid for the rest of my life. So I would rather, if not if it's not absolutely necessary, to not have to do that. But I would do it, and I filled the prescription. So I just really spent the next several months focusing on what I was eating, figuring out the type of protein and the amount of protein that I should be eating, the fiber amount. I said, I think mentioned in the other video, I was not eating nearly enough protein. So increasing my fruit and vegetable, primarily the berries and leafy greens, and also ensuring that I'm eating as many anti-inflammatory foods as possible. And so I really spent the next several months working on the inside, working on helping my cells and everything get back into some type of hormonal balance. And the other thing that I did too, my physician did a whole bunch of blood work. Both of them, my medical physician and the dermatologist, did a series of different types of blood exams to see what else was going on. And so I think I highly recommend. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but that was something that was instrumental in helping me figure out what I should be doing as well, is looking at the blood work and seeing is everything in as it should be for many areas. So January, February, March, April, May, actually January, February, March, my hair started to grow back. And I'm going to show pictures for like January, February, March, April, May, June, and you'll be able to see what's happening. And I did not use any hair oils consistently. I did not use the steroid consistently. I think I might have used it 3 or 4 times total in the last 6 months. And I keep it on deck because if I have some type of flare up, I want to be able to attack it right away. So, but all of this, when you'll see the photos, all of the growth, primarily it has happened as a result of what I'm putting into my body. Obviously what God is doing, but what I'm putting into my body in terms of nutrition. And so what I'm going to tell you right now are the 5 things. I'm going to fast forward to 5 things that I did to help begin the regrowth process for my hair. Number 1, certainly prayer. Don't let anyone ever tell you that it's minor or God doesn't care. He cares about everything. He cares about the lilies of the field. So surely he's going to care about you and your hair. So pray. And I enlisted a team of professionals. I had a medical physician. I had a dermatologist who I see now regularly. I also had my hairstylist who was committed to walking through this process with me, and she is gifted hands. And then I have my therapist who my mode is Jesus, pray, and therapy, and of course family and friends. So I had people around me that are supportive and loving and caring, and that's really important. The third thing that I did was I added nutrients to my body with the leafy greens, the smoothies, the ginger, turmeric. One thing I learned too is that you have to incorporate black pepper when you have turmeric. And then I eliminated lactose completely. And so I can still have ghee, which is clarified butter, because they pull all the lactose out. And then I can still have lactose-free items. Like I don't have any interactions with lactose-free yogurt. That's as far as I've gone in terms of testing what I can and cannot eat without it having some type of reaction to my body. The other thing that I did was I added in supplements. And daily, I've been taking this since January, probably December, January. I take spearmint. That's for PCOS symptoms. I take the turmeric. It has turmeric and black pepper. It's a pill, and I take that because that turmeric is really, really good as an anti-inflammatory. Then I also take pumpkin seed oil because that also helps deal with some of the PCOS symptoms. And then I take vitamin D daily along with my multivitamin. So those are the supplements that I take right now. And those are things that it is like clockwork. I have been able to build the habit of making sure that I take those every day. And then also the 5th thing that I would say is being patient. I appreciate my doctor when the dermatologist basically said, let's plan to see some good results in 9 months. And when I went back to her in 3 months, you know what she told me? She said, she looked at the results and she said, this is amazing. She said, keep doing what you're doing. And I told her, I'm not taking the steroid, but I'm just really doing nutrition. She said, that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. And basically she was saying more women, we need to approach this issue from that nutrition perspective. So be patient. And then also, really lean into gratitude for every small little thing that was happening. I mean, I feel like it's important to be grateful just in life in general, but even as something as small as I found a new fruit or a new vegetable, or I'm trying new things, and I'm looking at this as a journey. It is about healing, but it's also about exploring and growing and learning. And I get excited about looking at and trying to identify new foods and new things to incorporate into my diet. And it is as painful as it was several months ago, thinking, what is going to happen? What is this going to look like? And really kind of flipping that in and like, let me just enjoy this journey. Let me go along and see what happens and be excited about what could happen. And I encourage you to do the same. So that's my story. It was a lot. I probably left out 50% of it, but maybe I'll unpack it more in future videos about every stage and some of the pitfalls and some of the challenges, because it was by no means, all, kicks and giggles the whole time. There's certainly what I thought might have been some setbacks and things of that nature. So I'm happy to chat about that as well. So anyway, that's the story. At the end of the day, you can survive this and you can soar in it. God can bring order to our bodies and our hair follicles. And so I encourage you along the way, sis, you got this. We got this. And like and subscribe. If you want to share certain ideas or things that have worked for you, if you're going in this journey, please put that in there so we can all learn and grow together. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.